Hello, it's Chrystal and Bayleigh of
Hi.
Soxy Chicks. We're back.
We are finally, we're gonna do this, and I'm very excited.
Yes, we paused it because life gets very busy.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, we're here to shit talk Major League Baseball again.
Oh, and there's so much that they've done for us to keep shit talking though.
Oh, let's get right into it because you started our notes for us and put the Jackie Robinson of it all with the whole stupid anti-DEI Trump purge, removing and then restoring Jackie Robinson's webpage.
Imagine.
Woof.
It's like this man not only broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball, such an important aspect of our sport and American history, but he also was like somebody who fought for his country in war. And it's like, oh, so we're just gonna like forget about these things and we're just gonna discredit what he did. It's just like, imagine, I just don't know, just imagine being like doing something so profound in not only baseball but like truly American history. This is an American icon, and it's just like, because of this administration, it's like, oh well, like we're just gonna discredit what he did. And I'm just like, are you absolutely kidding me? So I loved seeing what Passon wrote, being like, hey, no, like here it is, and then being like how important the Negro Leagues are, and just saying like, if you're ever I've never been to the museum. I've also never been to Kansas City, but it's like on my list because I really want to go. And I went this past winter with my mom to Cooperstown, and they actually have like a really whole new area for like Black baseball, which is really great to see there now. But I really want to go. I don't know, have you been to the museum?
I haven't, although I've talked about it. We're taking the kids somewhere this summer. And it was kind of like drivable places they have not been to. So it was like either Cleveland, Minnesota, where else did we say? St. Louis or Kansas City. And I said, I'm kind of on the Kansas City train because I like Kauffman Stadium. I've been to Kauffman Stadium. I've never been to the museum though. So it was like, there's a lot to do there. This museum is neat. I want to go see it. Let's do this one. And I mean, we could do St. Louis too. We could just do a 2-for-1, really, because they're that close.
Right there.
But yeah, I'm torn on this whole. At least they didn't do this during Black History Month.
They waited a couple of weeks.
They were like, let's do Women's History Month. They don't care.
Yeah, we'll just oh my God.
But
yeah.
God,
I just like, I can't believe that like I can believe something like this happens just given what's going on in our world, but it's insane. Like, it's just absolutely insane that we have to be talking about, I don't know, discrediting anything that Jackie Robinson ever did. Like, and the bravery it takes to be the first one to do this and to be like, I'm gonna step up to the plate, for lack of a better phrasing, and do this, because I'm sure it was offered to potentially other people in the Negro Leagues as well. And it's like, just who's going to be the right fit for this? Who's going to have the right attitude about everything? And it's like, it all came together that it was Jackie Robinson and it was the right choice. And it's just like, and it wasn't soon after that other teams were doing it. Unfortunately, the Boston Red Sox being the last to do it because racism. But it's like, it was just so important of a human to just like I just can't. But on to at least exciting news for people in baseball. Japan and Shohei Ohtani and that Japan series between the Cubs and the Dodgers. My question was, do you think the Dodgers are ever going to lose?
God, I mean, I hope so, as someone who just loathes the Dodgers entirely. Like, it's hard because I love Shohei.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like he has been shoved down our throats because of the Dodgers now.
But it's funny though, because I will say, I live in Los Angeles. It's not like you see him everywhere in LA. It's not like there are billboards. It's not like the only times that you see like an abundance of Shohei stuff is if you actually go into like Dodger centric things. If you go to
Mhm.
City Walk, which is Universal, there's a huge Dodgers clubhouse store there, which is really weird. I'm like, why is there a Dodgers store at City Walk? But okay. You go in there, it's like Shohei crazy up the but it's like I don't know. It's just like it's a weird thing in LA where I feel like the rest of the world likes the Dodgers more than like Los Angeles does, but I also don't necessarily live in an area where the Dodgers are truly loved. But it's not like you're
Yeah.
seeing like Shohei like billboards or Shohei this, Shohei that. Again, I don't have cable, so I don't know if like maybe there's a bunch of commercials that you could be seeing if you had cable, but it's just weird. But I know that apparently in Japan it's like Shohei, 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 like
And
everywhere you go.
it should be, because
Of
he
course.
definitely should be celebrated there, and he should be celebrated in general. But I know you could be watching a broadcast, like a national broadcast for not the Dodgers,
Yep.
and it's going to be Shohei for 45 minutes in this conversation. And I'm just like, okay, can
We
we
get it.
focus on, like, I don't know, the Cardinals and Brewers, the game that we're watching? Like,
Yeah, or I remember
we could
wasn't
do
there
it.
that graphic during like the World Series that it was like 5 more batters until Shohei comes up. I'm like, how about the person that played their ass off to get into the World Series has an at bat right now? And how about we talk about that? And yes, we understand Shohei is really, really, really good. Like we're not taking any of that away from him, but it's still like it's crazy. Imagine if Aaron Judge could pitch. What would we because everybody already throws Aaron Judge down your throat. But
Yeah.
like the thing is that gets me though is like both Judge and Shohei are on like extremely like the number one, number two, like valued franchises in baseball. And maybe I think maybe even like North American sports. Like it's
Mhm.
crazy how much, especially the Yankees. I understand the Yankees are a brand. My question was if like Aaron Judge puts up Aaron Judge type numbers in Cincinnati, do we talk about Aaron Judge the way we do? Because we definitely talked about Shohei when he was an Angel, but it
Mhm.
was mainly because it's like, oh, look at this is the only person since Babe Ruth who's going to consistently hit and pitch. But we're not. And again, it's like I understand he just went to the Dodgers, he went to a super team, won a World Series. You're going to talk about him more, but I just always wonder if there was like an Aaron Judge level talent on the Cincinnati Reds, would we be talking about Aaron Judge? You know, I mean, we talked about Mike Trout, but we still also, I don't think, talked about Mike Trout the way we talk about a Shohei or a Judge.
No, and Mike Trout's always injured. Like, that kid can't stay healthy.
I
So
hear
I
you.
feel like if he was healthier, then yeah, we probably would. But at the same
Mhm.
time, nobody cares about the Angels. I have visiting dugout to record later because the White Sox play the Angels first this
Mhm.
season. And I was like, are there Angels fans anywhere? That was like the hardest team to find
To
consistently.
like to come and talk with you, yes. And like that's part of the problem though, is because I like anytime the Red Sox play the Angels, I love going down to Anaheim.
Mhm.
Like it's the stadium's whatever, it's old. It's like the like the fourth oldest. I think it's literally like Fenway, Wrigley, and then I'm not sure if Dodger Stadium or Angel Stadium are older, but they were both built in the 60s. It's like old, but it's in like kind of like a fun area. It's in Anaheim, it's near Disney. Like you're in Southern California. Like, I don't know. I just wish that, I don't know. I wish that they had a better team because I think people would like, what's going to stop you from going to Angel Stadium if you have a good team to root for? Like, it's easier to get there than it is to Chavez Ravine. The damn stadium's in a ravine. Then you have to go up a giant hill and then it's in like a hole. Like, it's honestly easier for me to be like, well, I'll just drive to Anaheim.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I experienced that recently. Well, because last year I finally went to Oakland before the Coliseum was gone.
RIP.
That's a pain in the butt to get to.
Yeah.
And we went to Oracle Park, so Giants.
Beautiful ballpark.
That one was nice.
Yeah.
And we went to Seattle. So
Oh,
I mean, it was like, we're
one of my
here.
spots.
We're close enough.
Mhm.
Let's do Seattle's really neat.
I loved Seattle.
That
Beautiful,
ballpark
beautiful.
is incredible. It was probably one of my favorites.
Me too. Yeah. But
But
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, and I get a beautiful ballpark will bring more people out, but then again, maybe that's not true too, because PNC is my favorite, and
was about to say, nobody wants to watch the Pirates.
It's so sad. I mean, like a gorgeous ballpark, but a team that, yeah, people don't want to be going to see.
Yeah. Oh, so let's talk about your team really quickly. Turn it over to Liam Hendriks being now a heel.
I can't. There's a part of me that, all right, so like the whole Aroldis Chapman of it all is that there's no doubt that Aroldis Chapman is an extremely talented individual. Like we can't take that away from him. It just sucks that it's wrapped up in a terrible person. And I hate that the Red Sox are now pretty much giving this man the closer role. Again, if there weren't these domestic violence as like, he got suspended for it. And I understand some people will be like, oh, he did his time. I'm like, okay, cool. It still doesn't mean that I want him on my team or I have to like him. And I do understand that like what he did isn't on like a level of like a Trevor Bauer. And we know that because of the sentencing that, a Bauer gets versus what somebody else gets. But it still doesn't mean I want to root for this person. And now it's not like I have to, but I'm not going to every game be like, well, I hope he blows this because I want my team to win. And he's pitched really well in the spring, too. And I think a lot of that has to do with Andrew Bayleigh looked at him and said, yeah, we know you can throw 105 miles an hour. But what if you threw like 97? I think you'd have a little bit more control. And his control has been really good this spring. And it's like shitty to say, but it's like if you're from a pitching standpoint, like that is the person that deserves to close, but I don't like it. I don't root for him. I just don't want him on my team. I don't want to be having this problem that, Aroldis Chapman has been pitching well enough to be the closer for the Boston Red Sox. And I would love the idea of like a Liam Hendriks saying, yeah, I've pitched terribly. I don't deserve to be your closer. I just wish that the option wasn't that Aroldis Chapman has to be your closer. Because I do like when a guy is like, no, I sucked, man. Like, I don't deserve to be the closer for the Boston Red Sox right now. Like, who knows? Things can change. So I like that aspect and that attitude. I just don't like that it comes with an Aroldis Chapman attached to it.
No. If it makes you feel any better, I'm pretty positive that Mike Clevinger will be closing for the White Sox this season.
Are you kidding? Or they're going to have him
picked
close?
him. They picked him back up on a minor league deal. And we don't have like any real pitching depth.
That's crazy.
So he'll be back, which is
but then when you have like a Clevinger and you have, and then of course we'll get into it too. I mean, the topic is pretty, we can go right into the idea of Julio Urias and he's being suspended through the All-Star break. But, you're seeing these suspensions handed out and you still have these like Trevor Bauer, like lovers. And they're like, well, let him back in. He's innocent, blah, blah, blah. Like if you're allowing Aroldis Chapman, if you're allowing Mike Clevinger, if you're allowing, Julio Urias to be allowed back into this sport, this is how bad what Trevor Bauer did. And it's like these men can't compute this in their minds. They can't understand it. And
he wasn't good in the first place.
Yeah. 2020, I mean, yeah, but a lot of people can do a lot of things in 60 games to do it real well.
For the Reds, people.
Yeah. So it's like, and then the idea of like, oh, he also just hasn't pitched in like 5 years. And it's not as if he's facing major league competition. He's getting shellacked by non-major league competition. There's always been a part of me that says I kind of want Major League Baseball to let him in just so we can see how he gets like absolutely destroyed. So there's like that part of me that kind of like wants to just like see it just so I can, be like, oh yeah, look how terrible he is. And just, but then him, he'd probably somehow spin it and be like, bro, I'm still real good. And it's like, but you weren't. So I would love to just see him get his ass handed to him, but I also never want his toe to touch a rubber in Major League Baseball. So
he'll be on his YouTube channel whining, and Rachel will be in the comments. You're so great, babe. You're doing great.
Yeah, we never dated, even though, we can see all the information that you did.
We're not together, even though I was on his shoulders on vacation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love doing that with men that I don't date. I'm just like, that's how I am with all my guy friends. Like, okay, girl, like you're crazy. But yeah, so it's just like, I mean, there is this, I'm glad that we have this domestic, violence, like this this idea of like we're getting better at it when it does happen. We are suspending these men, and it's taken far too long for like something like this to be in place. But the idea of like how much of a suspension Bauer got, and and now nobody wants to even come within like even half a foot of him. So it just really shows you that it's like people aren't lying. Like, and the idea of like, well, just sue Major League Baseball. He's never going to do that because everything's going to come out. It has to come out. And we see what a piece of shit he is.
He does not want that discovery to be public because, again, I follow Lindsay Hill. We back, when I actually still kind of used Twitter. We would
back when it was great.
chat. She's a good person. I've seen those pictures. I know what her evidence is. That does not want to be leaked in Discovery.
Yeah, and if it don't want those
details.
Yeah, and it's like, and she's been vilified more than she has been respected for coming out. So do you think that somebody who went through something like that, knowing that most people are gonna shit on me, it's not like she's gained fame and fortune from this. So like, what did she gain from this? She gained her truth being out there, her being wronged and hurt and abused and needing that to come out. And it's just like the idea of like, oh, she's just lying. Like, what?
Yeah.
No. It's just
she's good too because she is close with Mike Clevenger's exes, like the mother of his child. And so she was such a good, trying to think of the word I would use. I don't know. I mean, she was great about, because I like to do the donations to different organizations when they pitch. When Clevenger pitched, it was first year it was domestic violence organization. The next year it was for child abuse because of those child abuse claims he has against him and him not paying child support. And she was so good about kind of amplifying that and reminding people. And I mean, she was like, hey, here's some screenshots I'm having these conversations with of, either her talking to him, like the woman talking to Mike, or Lindsay talking to the ex. And she was like, no, this is like real. These are conversations that they're having. He is like out here on drugs, pitching, not paying child support, and being an abusive piece of shit. And the White Sox are like, hey, let's give him $1 million. Yeah.
I do love the idea of like, okay. Yeah. And like you said, also him being the closer, I feel like is going to be wild.
Well, he had that season-ending neck surgery. I was hoping would never allow him to play again, but here we are.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's the issue with the sport. I mean, it's most sports. Like they're just. I do love the idea though that we come down harder on somebody who takes steroids than we do somebody who quite literally like abuses women and children. But that's fine. Like, oh my God, you, Alex Rodriguez, you took a bunch of steroids. You're gonna get an entire suspension for the entire year because you wronged our game. Meanwhile, somebody else gets to abuse people and still have a spot on a roster, even if it is the White Sox. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to. But that's how Joey Gallo is so not good that he got cut and is now like at age 34 is like, you know what? I'm gonna try to pitch. Like, what? Okay, Joey. I mean, I love that there are people that love this sport and respect this sport so much that they just want to be a part of it and they'll do it. And he's made enough money so that he could literally dick around and try to pitch again. And it's not about money. He's made money. It's like, I love this game. I want to stay in this game. How can I do that? It's like, oh, well, they've clocked me like hitting like 95 from the outfield. Oh shit, man. What if I do that from like 60 feet, 6 inches, man? I could really pump it in there. So good luck to Joey Gallo.
I unapologetically love Joey Gallo, and I always have.
So fun. The name, it just reminds me, every time I hear it, I just literally think of my cousin Vinny. So I just like, it's like Joey Gallo. I love it. Outside of the brief time that he was in pinstripes, but he sucked, so it's fun. I love guys that are terrible, like in pinstripes.
They all have a pinstripe moment. I mean, Andrew McCutchen is one of my all-time favorite players. He even had to suffer through the pinstripes.
But yeah, it's like one of my favorites of all time, Curtis Granderson. I always say that like I would love to my future son, if I even have a son, it's like going to be Lowell Granderson, insert future husband's last name, because I love Mike Lowell and I love Curtis Granderson, and there was a period of time where he was in pinstripes, didn't win anything there though, so I always am like, well, you didn't win, so that makes me feel like slightly better about the fact that I still love you even. And of course Mike Lowell was drafted and played like 3 games, so both of my loves had to wear pinstripes, so you're right. But speaking of pinstripes, we didn't note this, but they changed their policy
Oh
slightly.
yeah, I forgot about that.
I know, I did too, up until being like, you mentioned Andrew McCutchen, and I went, oh, remember when they made him like fucking cut his hair and shave his beard
I
for him
cried.
to play like 6 days there? Yeah.
I openly sobbed when he cut his hair.
And I do love that it came down to pretty much what Devin Williams being like, I'd do it, but clearly was like so begrudging about it that they were then like, man, maybe we have to like think about this. Yeah, what, 15 years after what Steinbrenner dies, you just have to think about it. And then of course you get like Aaron Judge is also the perfect Yankee because, like, for lack of a better word, he dick sucks the Yankees and like loves being a Yankee. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna stick to how it used to be. I'm not gonna grow a beard. He's very Derek Jeter, and that's why I never liked Jeter. Is
Yeah.
just because Derek Jeter was like this model Yankee, and Aaron Judge is this model Yankee, and I think that's why I have more of a like a when it comes to these people versus like a Devin Williams coming in and being like, you know what, like this rule is shit.
Jeter and Judge are both also just very robotic.
That is so true.
Aaron Judge has a little bit more personality because when you see like the dogs out on the field, I'm just like, oh, okay, you're actually human, but
yeah,
watching him, you're just like, oh, you're just a robot.
Yeah, that's my worst thing, especially Jeter's still robotic because it's like he also replaced the Big Hurt, who was amazing. So like you're taking Frank Thomas away from me and replacing him with somebody who's just not gonna have any fun, not good. Like, and then you like that's the one thing people can say whatever they want about Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez is having a blast out there with Poppy. Like the two of them are having fun. Like they're effing around. They're like the one time that Poppy was like, you got to dress in all Red Sox stuff. A-Rod's like, fine. So he comes out in like full Red Sox uniform. You would never get like Jeter doesn't even like, he walked away when Poppy was like having fun. This like past World Series. It was like, I can't handle this. I got to get up and walk away. I'm like, dude, have fun. What is wrong with fun?
Oh man.
And, yeah.
So we have to go back one because we did talking about like a fun and good guy break up the like robot horrible people. Yes. My man Mark Cahna is now a Royal.
Good.
Which is okay. That's still close. The Brewers were really close, obviously.
Closer for you, yeah, of course.
But I need the Royals to stop picking up guys I like because as an American League Central girly,
you can't be having them good, yeah.
I can't root for the Royals.
Of course. And yeah, but at least he's gonna have. I mean, the Brewers are still probably potentially gonna be decent, but he has a better chance of being on a better ball club. Even though I still think that like the Royals are still like overblown. Like I know they did well last year, but I still feel like they're just like not as good as people think they are.
No, they're still a few years away from being really good.
Yeah, I mean they have a stud. Like don't get me wrong, at shortstop, but it's like adding somebody like that is great because we talk about how he's like a good guy. He's one of the few that's very for like women's rights, for LGBT rights, and is just like very much like, oh yeah, you want me to like wear a different color? Oh yeah, cool. Like yeah, not like the 5 assholes on the Rays that were like sorry for religious reasons. Also, where in the Bible does it say that the only thing I think in the Bible is man shall not lie with man? That could literally mean anything.
Yeah.
Also tells you not to eat shrimp, so I'm fucked.
I have the same tank top as Mark Cahna from his Mets days, the rainbow LFGM muscle tank. There's a picture of him wearing it, so I wore it to the Mets game when I went to one of two, like 2 years ago, so that we could be twins.
Love it. Yeah, it's just great because it's like Another thing, not to go back to Trevor Bauer, but like a lot of people saying like, oh, Trevor Bauer's views and his like voting for Trump and that's why he's being ostracized. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is like a sport of good old boys. You're telling me if like Trump support, I'd be like, I think everybody but Mark Cahna would be taken off of a major league roster.
Do we not remember the pandemic season when they were like, oh, well, this person has been scratched from the travel roster this weekend, can't go to Canada?
Because Jarren Duran, like it was like, oh yeah, sorry, yeah, you're not gonna go to because Canada's awesome, and they're like, sorry, we're not gonna let you in this country without being vaccinated. Like, and eventually, most of the Red Sox, I think, did reach a point where the players were vaccinated, and then they could travel. Except there was an issue with Goodwin, who was their first base coach, that they literally had to be like, dude, we are firing you. You are like we're done, like, and it's like, dude, you're gonna ruin a chance of being, a coach in Major League Baseball just because you're afraid of a little shot.
Yeah.
My body, my choice, except for, when it's women.
The love of my life, Dylan Cease, could not initially travel with the White Sox while he was there to Canada because he had not been vaccinated. So
what are we doing?
This is why
every vaccination.
And this is why you don't check the followers. This is why you don't follow sports people that you love on social media, and you do not look at who they're following or their likes. Don't do it. It will only hurt you.
Exactly. I like to just like, as long as I don't know, I can have that little bit of like, maybe not, even though I know, like, well, duh. Like, so that's the thing. Like the big issue with Jarren Duran last year, like, of the one word to be on the tip of your tongue, it's the F slur for a gay man. Like, you could have said anything. I would have hilariously been if you were just like, shut up, little bitch. I would have been like, that's hilarious. That's so funny. But like, for that to be like, anytime I've ever been angry, like, I think MFer is like, that's at the tip of my tongue. And that's fun. Yeah. I've never, like, a slur for anything, whether it be racist slurs, homophobic slurs. I mean, I say bitch all the time, but I never find that as a slur against women.
No, that's not.
I use that's a term of endearment. So like, I've never like thought in my life that like, and then he's like, oh yeah, I didn't mean it. Like, dude, it's the one that's at the tip of your tongue. So you use that frequently in the year at that point, 2024. It's like, what? I don't know. And then when you get somebody like Jarren Duran, who isn't white, like he's Mexican, it's like you're from, like, you already come from a subset that has been, repressed and hurt, and then you're just like, but I can kind of just assimilate into being a white man. People can just assume I'm a white man and things like this, and you just take on the privilege of a white man. But it's just like, really, it just bothers me. And then I'm like, ugh. And he fucked up playing 162 games because he's a fucking moron. He played 160, and everybody's like, oh yeah, you played almost a full season. I'm like, how about we keep bringing back why he didn't play a full season? How about like we keep talking about that? And he's like, I've got to do better. And but I like really loved Jarren Duran up until that point. And I was like loving everything he was doing, a dynamic baseball player. But that one just like, it sours me a bit that I'm just like, dude, this is what you go to. This is your go-to. Like,
bums me out because all of these slurs are like, I swear, Gen Z, as a parent of a Gen Zer, I would have some words with my child if they were saying some of these things. But like, a very ableist R word is coming back.
I heard that was coming back.
And I'm like,
why?
As someone who had a sibling with disabilities, if you said that word, that was worse than the F word in my house. Yeah. Like, that was the biggest cuss word in my house. We don't say it. I would go off on people who did say it. I was like, no. Be more creative in your language, please. Like,
we
don't use the R word.
That it was coming back, and I was like, wow, that's insane to me, because I did a recent rewatch of Friday Night Lights, and that came out in 2010, and they used the R word like frequently on that show, and I was getting like whiplash. I was like, oh shit, and then I had to remind myself, oh, it's right. Like, when this came out, unfortunately, that was like a word that was being used frequently, but to now know it's back, like, why is that back? Like, Gen Z, are you guys just like not like come up with like a cool, like, you come up with so much other weird slang, why aren't you coming up with like a fun, like, offensive word? It's like, it's not offensive, but it's a word that could be like, oh, if I call you like I don't know, Red Dot. Like, let's make Red Dot. Like, oh, you've Red Dot? Like, I don't know.
I mean, they use Ohio as a slur, which I think is hilarious
I've heard that
personally.
one too.
But come on, do better.
Yeah, absolutely. Be better. Be better at all of that. Don't take old, terrible ones for sure. But so some other news. Jackson Jobe ended up at the ripe age of 22, winning a rotation spot with the Tigers, and that rotation potentially has, with Flaherty back, of course, your reigning Cy Young and Skubal, like adding Jackson Jobe, Casey Mize is maybe finally coming into his own, which would be great for him because it's taken quite a while. But yeah, and then Jobe went third overall. He went right ahead of Marcelo Meyer because I remember around that time a lot of people thought Meyer was going to like go 1-1, and I remember everybody's like, oh, maybe Jackson Jobe will fall to the Sox at 4, and then he's taken at 3, and then I'm still like, but Marcelo Meyer's out there, like go get him, and the Red Sox did. So to see somebody that young getting this opportunity, I mean, there's going to be like bumps in the road and all of that for him. And that's the issue, is that like a lot of Red Sox fans are like, oh, we want, like, let the kids play. And I'm like, yeah, I'm all for let the kids play. I'm pretty sure Christian Campbell's going to break camp as the starting second baseman, and he struggled this spring. And I'm afraid that like Red Sox fans are going to be like, well, he's not good. And I'm like, no, sometimes it takes a while. It took 2 full seasons before Bobby Witt Jr. was a superstar. It's this game is hard. This is a game of failure. So I'm just afraid that, when, the Red Sox big 3 finally gets their opportunity and they struggle, that fans are just going to be assholes. So.
Well, the good news is I think the Tigers are going to be top 2 in this division this year. And I hope they are. I like the Tigers. I have no hatred towards the Tigers.
Yeah, Flaherty clearly enjoyed his time there. Got traded, went home, won a World Series, and then, he had said that it was a struggle to, find a job, but was able to be like, oh, hey, and which is crazy. Like that's just the thing, is like he pitched pretty damn well and then pitched well for the most part in the postseason, to then just have such an issue with getting a team to be like, hey, yeah, like we want you. Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, but he's back there, and I love him. I love rooting for Flaherty. Big Jay Flair fan.
Yes, he's so beautiful.
It is insane how handsome that man is. Like, I like to look at him, but I also know that, like, he's very Black Lives Matter. He's raised by a single woman, so he just like really appreciates like what this woman did for him. So big fan.
Love him. So I added, this is a very late addition, the Nationals City Connects. This is, in my opinion, a huge flop.
Yeah, it's also like, I remember somebody noted being like, well, why does it say DC on their chest and then the W on the hat, though? There's like an inconsistency with that, first of all.
So the hat, are you familiar with the Cubs flag for when they win?
Yes. Is that what that W looks a lot like?
So the actual helmets themselves are neat. The batting helmets are like this kind of baby blue color, and the W is white.
Okay, so that'll look sleek. That'll look nice.
Yeah, the helmets look great. The rest of this is a mess. I sent this picture to my husband today, and I was like, what? Because his favorite City Connects were the cherry blossoms, and mine too.
Cherry blossoms are nice.
Love the cherry blossoms. I think that's like the best design I've ever seen. This, if you like actually kind of zoom in, it looks like the front design is just like an iron-on.
Yeah, like what is it supposed to be?
The DC looks like it should be on a Letterman's jacket for like high schoolers.
It does. Like, yeah.
Like, what? The color, so pretty. The rest of this,
it almost looks like they're wearing like jeans. Like it's the color of like washed out jeans or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
It's just bad.
Yeah. And then I think my favorite City Connect, though, I really love the White Sox. Like, I love the Southside one.
They are getting new ones this year. They have not revealed them yet.
Same with the Red Sox. Like, I talk about, like, I'm wearing the Red Sox City Connect.
Yeah.
I don't, even though I don't really like them that much, I like what I have right now because this one is from DH Gate, because if I was going to actually pay the price.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the color's slightly off than like what the actual one is. I kind of like the color of like my fake City Connect more than I actually like the Red Sox yellow. But I understand like the importance of this one.
Yeah.
These are the colors of the Marathon. Really not sure why this is the color scheme the Marathon went with. I think it's like the blue on like the yellow is really kind of what I don't really like about the Red Sox. But the Red Sox are also getting a new one. Again, haven't been unveiled yet, but there are rumors that they're green. So I think we're going with like Green Monster green.
That would be neat. That would be really neat.
So it'll be kind of interesting just to see like what it is. I'm like, because I want to get excited for a City Connect. And I understand the only two teams that don't have a City Connect, one, the Athletics, because they don't have fucking City. And then the Yankees are just boring.
Yeah.
So, but I think this is fun. I get it's like a marketing tactic too. It's more to buy shit, but I still think it's fun because, like, I need to go back again, marketing tactics too, but I want to go back to Player Weekend where they had fun stuff, man. Like I love getting a fun little. I think that's the only time that the Yankees didn't wear the Yankees uniform, because they had to conform to something like that, But yeah, these aren't great.
Mm-mm.
These aren't great. But speaking of somebody else that I absolutely love, though, Darvish at the age of 38, unfortunately, elbow inflammation. I always want you to be healthy. I can't even like explain why I love this man so much, but I love Darvish.
Oh, no, I do too. I get it. And I don't know why I do, but I love him.
It's like legitimately. And my friend who's a Dodger fan, he actually, a real one. Because I always say that like I live in LA and nobody really talks about the Dodgers. But my friend, he is a Dodger fan and he hates Darvish mainly because Darvish sucked when he was and then went to the Padres and he was great. As he's like, yeah, of course, and then he scraped the Padres. It's like, well, I'm like, you're the Dodgers. I really would never worry about the Padres. They are forever your little brother, no matter what they think otherwise. Sorry. They tried really hard. That guy, I probably would have done the same thing if I knew I was dying of terminal cancer. I think I would have been like, I'm going to do everything to win a damn World Series.
Yeah.
He tried. Preller's just also on cocaine, so that's part of the problem. Give me some of what Preller has, please.
So back to a team we loathe, the Yankees. Have you seen the video of JC Escarra being told he made opening day roster?
Oh, so did he? He did make it.
He
okay,
did.
I love this story, but there's also a part of me that loves that somebody like this is making an opening day roster for the Yankees because that means that opening day roster isn't that good.
Yeah.
Yay. But also,
so
I love it. But I do love when you get to see guys make a team.
Yeah, but like they started off like he's gonna get fired. Like that's what it sounds like.
Oh no shit.
They're like, you've worked so hard and blah 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 and this is just such a tough call and blah. And I'm just like, oh my god, like this guy has been through it.
This is a big problem with Boone. Boone is also like, I'm gonna try to see where it's. Yeah, why are we playing this kid like this?
Yeah, don't just tell him. Just be like, hey, congrats, you're on the Yankees now. Don't make it seem like he's about to get fired. This is what it seems like.
You would only hope that at least in the back of his mind that he was hoping like, oh, if I'm having a conversation with Boone, like hopefully it's gonna, even if he's trying to like make it seem like I'm not making it, hopefully I am making it. But yeah, that's all. But it is great to see guys like this who've worked so hard. Like, again, love this game because so many people there for every person that, like we'll get into the idea of Paul Skenes' card selling for more than what Paul Skenes makes. Paul Skenes also got like I think an $8 million signing bonus. So Paul Skenes is fine. So for every person that gets to be the one that walks away with nearly $10 million before they even step foot in Major League Baseball or even play any organized professional baseball, there are people like this that get paid literal shit because most pay in the minors is shit, and most of those guys in the minors are not Paul Skenes, So it's great. I'm always for people like this. But as a Red Sox fan, I'm also like, wow, if this guy's making the roster. And so the idea also, it's like it's so bad over there, and like who's gonna do this? But I do love that Dom Smith was like, yeah, I'm opting out. But there was a potential that Dom Smith could have made the Yankees opening day roster, but he was like, I'm good, guys. Bye. Yeah. So I wonder what the culture is like over there. And I know everybody thought the Red Sox culture was a little weird with like, Sox signed Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman is going to be the third baseman. A lot of things get lost in translation too with Rafael Devers. And a big thing was a lot of people that are native speakers of Spanish said they listened to him, and his interpreter is not the best at interpreting, especially tone. So it's like a lot came out that he was like, "Oh, you were third baseman." It's like, "Yeah, I'm a third baseman," and I think he still thinks that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just like I also really want to win, so I understand that there is a better third baseman, and both of us can exist within a lineup if I DH. And he's doing that. And I think he's, especially when you have like, fellow countryman David Ortiz to be like, you know what, Ravi, like it's cool. Like DH, man, DH. You're going to save your shoulder. You're going to be healthier. The only thing is that Rafael Devers gets in his head a lot. So there's the potential of like beats himself up after a bad at bat, or like hit himself in the head. So I'm just afraid that like once he gets into the dugout, he'll just be thinking about that at bat rather than just being like, oh, I just got to go put my glove out and go play third base, So, but I'm excited to have a lineup that has both Alex Bregman and Rafael Devers. And it's funny that, I never liked Alex Bregman, and it wasn't because Alex Bregman's a bad person. It was because Alex Bregman was on the Houston Astros. But I'm always like, that's the kind of person, like I say the same thing about Carlos Correa. Like, you don't like them when they're not on your team, but now that they're on your team, you're like, let's go. So I'm like, let's go, baby. Alex Bregman, third baseman, Boston Red Sox. Love it.
So let's talk about this 11-year-old kid.
Yes, good for this child.
The one-of-one rookie Paul Skenes card. I love Paul Skenes. I got to see him for his very last minor league game.
That's cool.
Right before he gets the call up for Pittsburgh, I was at the game, which was funny because Yasmani Grandal was down rehabbing, so I got to see him. And gosh, they were playing the Blue Jays. Who was the pitcher? There was a pitcher rehabbing for.
Was it Manaya?
Yes, it was. Thank you. I was like, who was it? I can't remember because I'm like focused on skiing. So I was like, I'm paying like $12 for basically front row third baseline seats to see this go down, which is pretty amazing. I purposely got right by the dugout so that I could like harass Yasmani Grandal. But yes, this 11-year-old pulls the one-of-one rookie card. The Pirates offer him shit. Let's go over what the Pirates offered.
You also have to hope that kid's a Pirates fan.
Right.
I'm sorry if I pulled that card. What the fuck am I gonna do? You gonna also fly me to Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
You gonna put me up somewhere?
He lives in LA. The chances of him being a Pirates fan or knowing the Pirates exist is probably slim.
Also, knowing that card was in Los Angeles makes me really mad that I didn't just buy so many cards. Right. But anyways, please continue.
So he was offered Pirates season tickets for 30 years, a softball game at PNC Park, an autographed Skenes jersey, batting practice with the team, and other special experiences with the current team and Pirates alumni. And then Paul Skenes' girlfriend, LSU gymnast and social media influencer, Livy Dunn, also threw in a Pirates game in her personal suite. Cool if you're a Pirates fan. Yeah, I would do. Sure. I mean, I would take most of that. I don't want season tickets to Pirates games, but like, if I could have batting practice with Andrew McCutchen, I would lose my shit completely. But good on him. It sold in auction for $1.1 million. And Dick's Sporting Goods, the company, bought the card.
I love that Dick's Sporting Goods bought it.
So, and again, we mentioned Skenes, he's making enough. Like, the actual pay he's getting is not the issue.
No.
But it's wild that it was $225,000 more than the Pirates are paying him this season.
Yeah.
For
And again,
an
that's not
MVP caliber pitcher.
Yeah, and that's not a Pirate issue. That's just a baseball issue with the idea of like cost controllability. Like they're going to be able to cost control him for a while unless they sign him to do an extension. But I just also think he's stupid. I don't think he'll sign an extension. But speaking of people not signing extensions, Garrett Crochet has not been extended by the Boston Red Sox yet. And I'm a little nervous, but I also don't blame him. He has been disgusting this spring. Like the stuff, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for 2 years of it. I want more, especially with what we gave up. Again, we didn't give up a Marcelo Meyer. We didn't have to give up a Roman Anthony, but we gave up Kyle Teal. You have a potential really good potential all-star, fringe all-star guy. Braden Montgomery also has like all-star. So we gave up 2 of our top 5 prospects. Thankfully, thanks Chaim Bloom. Red Sox have stacked farm system, one of the best. Again, thanks Chaim. Miss you, love you. So we had to still give up a lot for Crochet. So you clearly believe he's that good. Why are you not? I would right now offer him, and I don't even give a shit because it's not my money. He could just I don't think he's not going to be good as a starter. I think he's going to be elite. But is there the chance that, yes, this last season was the first time he did it? The White Sox managed him. He only did, like 140 innings, blah, blah, blah. He's 6'6". He's like a thick Chris Sale, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
Chris Sale's doing a 36, 37, but that's beside the point. So it's like, okay, I'd pay a thick Chris Sale more than what the Yankees just gave Max Fried.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give him more than that. I'd be like, all right, figure it out. Or I pay him $30 million a year. I don't give a shit. Again, it's not my money. Just you gave up a lot to get a lot. And now you're not again, like we're doing this on March 23rd. So who knows if something could happen. I know the last report that came out was that they're nowhere near it, but like Alex Bregman also talks about how he thought up until like 2 seconds before the Red Sox made their final call that, he was going to be a Detroit Tiger. So you just don't know until that final moment. Like you could be so far away and then just immediately be like, nah, fuck it. We'll give you all your money. So I'm hoping that, within the next like 4 days, they figure something out, but it's not looking real good right now. But I don't know if I win World Series over the next 2 years, am I also going to be mad? Probably not.
Right. I would give up almost everything just for Garrett Crochet again.
We'll take good care of him.
So please.
At least I hope we'll take good care of him.
I love him. It's funny you said thick Chris Sale, because as a White Sox, that's what he was being compared to, was Chris Sale. This is his second coming. This is how good this kid is. This kid has the nastiest stuff. And
he went straight from being a Tennessee Volunteer right to being a Chicago White Sox. Like he got drafted and then didn't spend a lick in the minors, and they just threw him in that pen. And clearly you're hoping, you draft somebody that high that they have the potential to be a starter for you. And no, he's going to be a starter for the Boston Red Sox.
And the wild part is too, he went from bullpen White Sox to opening day starter last year.
Yeah. It's crazy. I just don't know. I just don't know why the Red Sox seem to have this issue with locking up like really good talent. Like they had no problem giving Brian Bayo, and Brian Bayo's like, yeah, thank you. Had no problem with Ceddanne Rafaela, but we're not talking about like if they were able to have done this with Mookie Betts in 2015, but it's like you have this inability to commit to the elite talent at a young level where you could get them cost controlled. Imagine getting Mookie Betts they also should have been able to have done that even before. Like if the Red Sox offered Mookie Betts like $365 million that like the Dodgers did, he's probably a Boston Red Sox. But again, it's also still really difficult because Mookie Betts always talks about how I want to be the person that sets the market and free agency, and then COVID happened. So like a lot of things change. And then when they're like, well, we'll give you $365 million, you're like, all right, this sounds good, because who knows what's going to happen with the world. So it's tough to tell. Like if the Red Sox don't trade Mookie Betts and then COVID happens and then they say, hey, here's $365, he might also stay a Boston Red Sox. But that's hindsight is literally 2020.
Oh, no.
Ugh, awful.
That was 5 years ago, by the
I
way.
can't believe that. Like, we're half decade. Like, right now, like, it's March 23rd. I think the COVID shutdown in LA was like March 16th of 2020.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane to me.
Yeah. We shut down. We left work March 11th for 2 weeks. That was what it was. We were working from home for 2 weeks. It was the day before my cousin Harrison's birthday. I do remember that. And it was like the weekend prior, my son was playing basketball, like they had like their championship game. Oh. And then they were supposed to have, so the championship game was like on a weekend or something. They were supposed to have this cool parade and party at their school. Mind you, he's also in 4th grade. He's about to go off to a new school this next year. So he's in 4th grade. They're supposed to go camping the next week. Like for St. Patrick's Day, they were taking like a camping field trip at school.
That's so cute.
And they were going to have this big parade for their basketball championship. And then school is canceled for the rest of the year. So there's like no little like, kind of graduation ceremony, camping trip gets canceled, like all of this stuff is canceled. Yeah. He's just like, what?
And you're in 4th grade and you're trying to like explain this to like a 4th grader, be like, sorry, like you can't have all these fun things you were looking forward to.
Both kids were going to new schools that next year too, because my daughter was she was in 1st grade. She was going in to the accelerated program, but her school didn't offer it. So she was going to one of the schools in our district that does. Mm-hmm. So they're both going to new schools. They're both just done with the school that we loved. We loved the school that they were both at. But yeah, it's just wild to think about.
Crazy to think about, yeah. And then baseball shuts down for a while, and then we come back with no fans. Weirdest thing ever. Like, absolutely insane that time to be alive. But speaking of unfortunate injury, I got to watch this one happen live. I was watching the spring training game. Shane McClanahan, fresh off of his Tommy John, threw a pitch and like immediately like went to like my arm started like shaking it out. And I'm like, Jesus, some people with injuries, it's just like, and the talent that Shane McClanahan has, it's like, it's not that I'm like, oh, well, if only somebody who was untalented got hurt all the time, we wouldn't care. But like, it's like, that's not it at all. But it's still just like, I feel so bad when you just have somebody with all this talent that we want to watch. I mean, like Mike Trout, Trout's still first ballot Hall of Famer, but yeah, the idea is that we lost Mike Trout prime. I mean, it was like the same thing with Ken Griffey Jr. Again, should have been 100%, was nearly 100% first ballot Hall of Famer. But imagine if he wasn't hurt. We're talking about probably the best person to ever play this game.
I will always say Jacob deGrom. Imagine if he stayed healthy
and didn't throw 100 miles an hour every pitch as a starter. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. Just you're hoping that a Jacob deGrom can be healthy this year. I'm praying that is in the notes here, jumping ahead, but I need Mike Trout to be healthy, man. I'm not saying he's gonna win MVP, but I want MVP votes. Mm-hmm. I want he's just such a great guy too, man. Like, this is the person that you want to be the face of Major League Baseball, even though I think a big thing is he doesn't really want to be the face of Major League Baseball, whereas like Shohei's game for it. Like Shohei's like, let's go out and do it. I think Aaron Judge kind of is, even though we just say he's boring, but that's against he's been Yankeed. Like, he's got all that going on. But it's like, there are guys that are way more willing to be the face of baseball. And then there's just Mike Trout who's like quietly like, no, I'm just like Mickey Mantle incarnate. Sorry. Like, but I just want to play baseball. And that's also fine too. Like,
So while we're on this injury thing, this is very recent. The White Sox now this is now the 6th White Sox pitcher to have Tommy John surgery since the start of camp.
Jesus.
Yesterday they announced Drew Thorpe, which bums me out because he seems like the second coming of Dylan Cease. When I watch him, I see Dylan Cease, young Dylan Cease. And now Tommy John surgery for Mason Adams. So again, 6 pitchers
since what are you doing over there
on the White Sox are now having Tommy John surgery. And then
it's such a big problem. Like,
we got I just want to scream. But we also
I don't believe you.
Talk about Garrett Cole.
Jesus. Like, Also, Garrett Cole not getting it last year was part of this big problem.
Yes.
Is that like the idea of like, I'm pretty sure the only person I had seen that had torn their UCL and was able to like rehab it properly, I think was David Price.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. Most other guys who attempt to do this whole, oh no, let's wait it out, it's going to try to heal on its own, we've got this, have then immediately needed Tommy John. Or, and I do like that there is this internal brace. Both Lucas Giolito and Garrett Whitlock got the internal brace. So now they're Giolito is getting a slower start, but he's pretty much, knock on wood, he's fine. And Whitlock has looked like 2021 Whitlock, and I'm excited for that. But it's like, it's nice that you can come back the next season, whereas you lose like a season and a half with like a full Tommy John. And it sucks. I mean, again, I've always said I'm a huge Red Sox fan. I hate the Yankees, but I still never wish anybody to get hurt. And I like the idea of Garrett Cole pitching because, one, Rafael Devers owns him, but also I want to beat the Yankees when they're at their best. Like, it's going to be nice that like the Red Sox might be able to get to, potentially even the World Series. Like, I'm like, the American League is trash. So I think the division is theirs to potentially lose. Again, this is all health. We need people to stay healthy. But I would never wish, when you get people, saw people on Twitter being like, yeah, he got hurt, this is hilarious. I'm like, why is this funny? This man is hurt. And also the people that are like, oh yeah, Garrett Cole isn't good. A healthy Garrett Cole is the best pitcher in baseball.
I was about to say, Garrett Cole is incredible.
I know. It's like, are you kidding? Because they're like, oh yeah. I was like, no, I mean, I would kill to have a healthy Garrett Cole on my fucking baseball team. Like, are you kidding?
And I'm sorry, that man is hilarious. Maybe his sense of humor is not for everyone, but Garrett Cole is one of the funniest baseball players.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'm just like, okay, you just don't like him because he's in pinstripes, and that's fine.
That's fair.
But the idea of saying that he's not good is maybe the funniest thing I've ever heard.
No.
Is he not good right now? Yeah, no, because his entire like arm is about to exploded. But like healthy, yeah. I mean, and we see how you can come back from Tommy John for sale and win a fucking so young. So like it's gonna be like a year and a half. And I get he's gonna be older, but Chrystal also just won a Cy Young at 36. So I don't know, man. If you're I don't know. The only thing is when you start to suck is when your velocity really dips.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, on that same path, you've got Justin Verlander. Yeah. He is almost 40 years old at this point.
Be interested to see how he does this year in the Bay.
Oh, yeah. I'll be curious. I like to hate watch him. He's one of those where like I would love him if he wasn't on certain teams. Yeah. I don't mind the Giants, so maybe I can sort of root for Verlander this year. Giants I've never had any issues with because I am Tim Lincecum's #1 fangirl.
I love Lincecum. Also, what a terrible tragedy, him losing his wife as well.
Oh my god, yes.
Like I can't believe and then what a freak weird, just being so good, and then just that's somebody who's just like his stuff just like disappeared one day.
Yeah. I mourn his career more than just about anybody else in this league. Like he's
so good. And we got to watch prime Lincecum.
Favorite.
We got to enjoy, like we got to watch prime Lincecum, prime Jake Peavy. I mean, Jake Peavy won a championship when he wasn't prime Jake Peavy. I'm talking like the Padres. And oh God, I loved watching Jake Peavy pitch. The movement on that man's stuff was amazing. So it's like we just got to watch a lot of like really great prime pitchers. And yeah, there's a lot of really good ones coming out too, but like I just felt like it was different then, because now it's like, oh, who can throw 100? And that's like really the big thing versus the days of like Pedro Martinez. Yeah, you could hit 95, but like Pedro always talked about how his fingers were the reason he was so good, because he could like wrap the ball just differently than other people, So
yeah, you've got Lincecum completely blanking people, throwing them completely off with the like his wind up. His wind up is nuts.
I loved it, and he was like really small. Which a lot, especially as a pitcher, like being under 6 feet is unheard of, and being elite under 6 feet is just like Tim Lincecum. That's like
So for the young kids out, not my son is very familiar with Tim Lincecum. I have
you taught him
that on him, but for those youngins out there listening, go to YouTube right now. Look up Tim Lincecum.
Franchise. We love him.
And also, while you're at it, just look up all of his commercials because his commercials were hilarious.
And he had the long hair. I was a big fan. Big Timmy Lincecum fan.
Beautiful boy. Loved him. Still love him. I'm still obsessed. Man.
I think there's one last little thing before we can just kind of go into how we feel about our team. The Twins were able to ink an extension with Tanner Bybee for 5 years, around $48 million plus, and shit.
Smart.
Red Sox, please be doing. Again, I understand that Tanner Bybee is a little different than Garrett Crochet, but like, come on, man. Like, can you do this stuff? Other teams are doing it. Like the Brewers and Jackson Chourio, like signing him to that. I need the Red Sox to give an extension like that to a Campbell, to a Meyer, to an Anthony, because again, even if you're like, here's $150 million over like 10 years, that's like 15 a year. You're the Boston Red Sox. You can, even if they end up sucking absolute crap, who cares? It's $15 million. Like, it's not much at all.
Take a loan from Ben Affleck. He'll pay you to have a good team.
Absolutely. Like, let's do it. Let's do it. But yeah, so how are you feeling about your Sox?
I mean, not great. We don't have anybody.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, Luis Robert Jr., again, I'm not even sure he's going to be on the White Sox in like a week, to be completely honest. There's been a lot of trade rumors involving him, but he hasn't been good.
Yeah. He looks good. That's about it.
Well, Andrew Benintendi's out for the first 2 weeks. Huh?
He got hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt in spring training, so he's out. He fractured his hand.
Oh, well, yeah, that's going to be a while. All right.
Yeah, so he's out for a while, so there's no Benintendi. Brandon Drury was the only person hitting fucking ball in spring training, and now he's injured. He's out. Like, there's no one on the team. There's no one. We got Travis Jankowski now. That's how sad of a state the White Sox are in, that Travis Jankowski right now is like probably the best on the team.
Now, of course, you all set a record last year. Do you think you'll be able to break your record?
You know, so it's the 125th anniversary of the White Sox.
Oh, wow.
So I'm hoping that they break their record again and go to 125.
5 loss. Oh, that would be just for fun.
They have a new milkshake this year.
Oh, do they?
To celebrate. It's like a birthday cake one. So
now, do you find that at least your ticket prices and your concessions are less than when you go to other places? Or do you still find that you're still getting raked over the coals to see this product that they put on?
Honestly, the tickets, it's not that expensive anymore. I mean, they're doing anything they can to get people in.
You to go. Yeah.
They used to be where if you purchased a 500 level ticket, you could only stay in that 500 level.
Oh, that's weird.
Like, they would have people at the gates. Like, if you tried to get to the 100 level, they'd be like, no, you need to go back. They've stopped doing that now. They've stopped because they're like, we just need people in the door. Like, hold on, let me look at what their promotions are, because they have like some of the greatest promotions. It's also
always been a White Sox thing. You guys got your promos.
Yeah, we have great promos. Like, there's a Ken Griffey Jr. bobblehead this year. And I'm like, okay, they have some good promos, but like, again, that's because they need
people,
passes and seats. And then it's also 20 years since the World Series win.
Oh God.
Yeah. So they're like really ramping that up too.
Imagine ramping up, celebrating like the greatest achievement your franchise has ever done with the mediocrity that is on that field. It's not like you can even get excited about, like, oh, that sucks. That sucks so much.
They've got a Dick Allen bobblehead that I honestly really want to be there for. But yeah, they have like a really neat Ken Griffey Jr. one. There's an Ozzie Guillen bobblehead. There's an 05 Hurlers bobblehead, so it's got 4 of the pitchers from 2005. Like, they have a lot of good.
Do a replica ring. That would be baller because you guys got the best ring.
Yeah,
that ring is so slick.
Ring at my house, but like they have so many great promos this year, because again, what else are they going to do? Like, they revamped their concessions menu. They added the new milkshake, and they're still like, please, we are literally begging you just to give us your money this year.
That's so sad. I just hate, at least, like, because, like, there is the fear of, oh, well, we see you don't spend. Major League Baseball is you're gonna get in trouble. So, like, at least the Athletics pretended like they were caring. And again, of course, they're gonna need a better product, whenever they do go to Vegas, if and when and whatever. But it's like, okay, so they like pretended they were trying. It's like the White Sox, the largest contract that they've ever given out was Andrew Benintendi. And
Mm-hmm.
I sit over here and I complain about the Red Sox and John Henry not spending money, and they just also are paying now Alex Bregman $40 million a year. But again, I'm fine with that because I like that it's that it's like 3/120.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and again, he has an opt out after this year too. And but I'm fine with that because it's like my thing has never been the money. It's always just been like committing to Alex Bregman like in his late 30s into early 40s is just crazy to me. So like, why are you going to give him 7-8? Nobody wanted to give him that. So it's just like the idea that like the White Sox just won't, and they're not even committing to any, like, you guys had such a good team. What was it, like 22 that you guys were like really good?
Yeah.
Like, that's not long ago.
Mark Buehrle is getting a statue this year on the concourse.
Yes, I did hear about the unfortunate thing with Bobby Jenks, though.
Oh, yeah.
That is so sad. My God.
Why are these players not getting the good insurance? Like, I get that healthcare is just a joke all around, but like, why is he not getting the
enough
best
money to hit the best care?
best.
And it's like, did he not make enough? It's like, I don't know. Again, it's like, I don't know what people are doing with their money, but then again, it's like, do you want to just spend all your money you have left for you hoping for your family to, battle a terminal illness? But it's like, I know once they hit that 10-year mark, I think that supposed good insurance comes in, but I know that 10 years is so hard. Somebody like Jackie Bradley Jr. was trying to do everything he could to get his service time just because of the benefits. And it's like, I know a lot of people will be like, oh, he made blah, blah, blah over the course of his career. I'm like, yeah, but he's not making that now. And like the idea of just like being able to care of a future with like the insurance and things like that is so important to these guys. So it's like, if you don't get that 10 years, who knows if you just unfortunately are gonna die. And I don't know, it's just awful.
He's gonna be undergoing cancer treatment while signing autographs to help pay for his treatment. Like, that's fucked.
That is so fucked. Yeah. I can't. It's not like when you see like a person that's already wealthy going to like a con and wanting to charge $200 for freaking autographs. Like, bitch, you're already rich. This is so different. This is like, I need money so I can live longer, hopefully longer. Like, it's not like, and like, this is terminal. This isn't like, oh, hey, you have cancer. We're going to go through this treatment. We're going to get you good on the other end. This is like, no, this is just so you can potentially live a little longer.
Yeah, this is bad cancer.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. And why isn't, I'm sorry, if I'm like Major League Baseball, how good if it would be if they just came out and they were like, we're going to cover Bobby Jenks' entire medical bills. You look so good, dude. Yeah. You need good press because
that's a flash in the pan for what Jerry has in his like his walking around money. That's a flash in the pan for what Bobby would need for this.
Yeah. There are people out there that are so rich that they could blow themselves up trying to go see the Titanic, and that's like going to get a coffee for them. So yeah, I'm sure cancer treatment for Bobby Jenks could be Jerry Reinsdorf's, espresso martini or something that he goes and gets at a fancy.
Could be his good karma for the year.
Oh shit, man. If I had the money, I wish I had the money. I'd be like, hey, Bobby, what is this going to cost? Let's fucking do it. Like, it's awful. So that's just really sad news for your team. Your team's sad news, but then something when you had a great period of time, and he was part of the great period of time for your team. And it's just awful to see somebody go through like that. Any human to go through that.
The White Sox are so embarrassing.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I got the Mets, at least. I have one Soto.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Oh, so happy. Oh, man, that day that man became a Met was a great day.
Great. And my baby he's making his money, Pete Alonso.
He is, yeah. He went back.
So I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna see them when I'm there in April. I was like, I wanna go see Soto in a Mets jersey. And while I'm there, they're doing like this Mr. Met bobblehead thing that looks incredible. So I was like, I need to be there for this.
That's awesome. So jealous. But yeah, but at least my Sox, I mean, I'm very happy. Like, it's amazing how one person can really change things. I wouldn't be the outlook wouldn't be as good without Alex Bregman. But Bregman's just been, also he's been like everything like advertised. Like they're going, today they leave for Mexico because they're doing, I think, 2 games in Mexico before they go to Texas for the opener. And they didn't send certain people there, injury protocol, blah, blah, blah. And Bregman's like, no, I'm going. Like, he doesn't need to go. Like, this isn't even like, oh, you're sending your best to go against like somebody else's best. It's like you're just going against the one of the Mexican league teams. And he's like, no, I want to go. He traveled a couple times on the bus with the guys. He's said he wanted his lockers between Meyer and Anthony. Like, he's like, I just want to be around these guys. I want to help these guys be great for the Boston Red Sox. And like, it's amazing because I think an outlook like that really changes things. The team's really good. I mean, our offense was still pretty good last year. Like, we added Buehler, which is really good, and he's looked great this spring. Oh my God, if we can get like even like close to vintage Walker Buehler, the Red Sox are the best team in the American League. That's even if the Red Sox that's even if like the Yankees had a healthy Garrett Cole. I still think if you have the Red Sox have a healthy Buehler,
you don't even need vintage Buehler, though.
No, it's just healthy, good.
Yeah, just healthy.
So I'm excited. And so coming out the spring, for the most part, people are healthy. We did have a stomach bug kind of run rampant through the clubhouse, including Buehler was supposed to pitch today, but he's going to end up pitching in Mexico. I'm pretty sure they're sending him to Mexico instead. He didn't pitch today because he got sick. Like, it was so bad that and like Alex Cora is ridiculous. And you can tell he's having fun this year because they were like, oh, Tristan Casas is in lineup. He's like, yeah, no, I got sent a text message from his roommate saying that he's MIA. And I don't know if that means he's in Miami or if he's just really, really sick.
I can't even think Miami. That's the best.
Exactly. And it was just that, like, yeah, this stomach flu, like, just destroyed people for like a week and a half. So thankfully we're coming out of that. Yeah. I'm sorry, what was that?
I wonder if it was the norovirus that was going around for a hot minute.
It could have been, but they were sick. So like literally Anthony lost 10 pounds. Give me this virus right now. Thank you. Like, come this way. Drop 10 pounds like that. Let's do it. It's like in one of my favorite lines in the history of movies is in The Devil Wears Prada when Emily is like, I'm only one stomach flu away from like goal weight. Like, it's so problematic, but also an incredible line.
So real, though.
Yeah. Oh, so real. So yeah, I'm very excited. I think the Red Sox are going to be really good. Like I always say, I just want, like, you can't win the World Series every year unless you're the Dodgers, even though they haven't. Like, we haven't had back-to-back since the year, the three-peat of 98, 99, 2000 by the Yankees. Like, so it's like we can't even say that the Dodgers are winning. They went from, like, they won in 2000, then they won in 2004. Like, there was a 4 years separate from their championship. So we'll see if, like, this year does go on a run of, like, oh, only the Dodgers can win them every single year. I just want a competitive team. Yeah. You never know. You can F around and find out, like in 2013, and you just win. F around, find out. Like, they were a game away from going to, like, the World Series in 21. Like, you just kind of never know what can happen if you just put a good product out there. And I have a good product, and I'm very excited about my good product. Sorry. Again, okay. I know when you don't.
It's okay. That's why I think I would go absolutely insane if I wasn't also a Mets fan.
Yeah. No, it's good to have, like, another team. Yeah, it's good to at least be rooting for, some other excitement because, Cohen's out there to fucking F around and find out because he wants to win. And I can't blame him. If I'm that freaking rich, I too would probably be playing MLB The Show.
Yeah. And I need him to, I need a team I love to do that because, man, but I'm just hoping that, like, if the Kansas City Chiefs were able to be stopped this year, even with like Taylor Swift's voodoo powers.
True. Damn true.
The Dodgers can be stopped this year.
It can. We'll see. We'll see. I would find it hilarious if you did all this and then they don't even make the play. Or if there's a first round exit again, like the Diamondbacks do it again to them or something. So I would love that. But baseball is very close to being back. I'm excited about my team. So I'm ready. I'm excited to be, we'll be doing every other week with this, just kind of like recapping everything. So I'm really excited to be back doing this with you, Chrystal. It's always fun.
Yes, my opening day, I'm going. People that know me know the Estrogen Power Hour girlies. We are all meeting up at an aptly named bar called the Electric Funeral Bar.
Love it.
Because it's in Bridgeport where the White Sox play. So we are, planning accordingly to what this season is going to look like for us by meeting at a bar called the Funeral Bar.
Funeral Bar. Love it.
To watch the game because we don't want to give Jerry money. I think I'm going to like a handful of actual games this year, mostly because they play on my birthday. And my friend Taylor, shout out to Taylor, he's always on visiting dugouts. He messaged me and he was like, "Hey, I'm going to come up to Chicago when the Cardinals are in town." And I was like, "Hell yeah, dude, that's on my birthday this year." So I was like, I'll go on my birthday, maybe like one or two other games, but I'm not trying to
give the money to it. Yeah. And it's like the Red Sox have been doing great with like their sales. So it's like if you show that you spend, like every spring training game has been like sold out. They were like, oh yeah, like the ticket sales have just skyrocketed. Yeah. Oh, what a freaking shock. I mean, there are sadists like me that watch every game and I don't care. I lived through 2012. I lived through 2020. Like I haven't lived as long as like, you'll get the gatekeepers being like, well, you didn't live through like the 80s when they were shit up until 86. And I'm like, sorry, I wasn't alive. Like, that's not my fault. I also lived through heartbreak. I will say that the worst heartbreak I've ever felt in my entire life, and I know it was when they were potentially a game away from going back to the World Series and going back to back, 2008. I cried so hard that night. And I was so happy that the Rays lost to the Phillies because F the Rays. But yeah, and it was like, so the last time that a team was potentially going to go back to back was like 07, 08. And I felt like if Mike Lowell was healthy and if Josh Beckett was healthy, the Red Sox probably go back to back in 07, 08. So yeah, that broke my heart, even though that was a great freaking baseball team. Arguably one of the best Red Sox teams that just didn't win a World Series. But yeah, so we definitely know heartbreak. I don't have to, watch a team like the White Sox all the time to like feel the pain. Like I'll feel pain this year when they lose. You're not going to go 162-0. It would be incredible, but it's not going to happen. Even the Dodgers aren't going to do that. So
shout out to Wellbutrin and Lexapro for getting me through these White Sox games because I cover 2 a week and I watch
dedication
too many of them. So,
Yeah, I'm going to try to, this year I'm trying to set a goal if I want to score every game. I'm not going to be able to like watch every game live, but because like I'm hoping I had a job interview. So hopefully you never know if I actually, being between jobs has been the worst. So it's like it'll be more difficult like when you're working full time to be able to do these things. But like that's the nice thing about MLB TV. Shout out to T-Mobile. It's gonna be free again on Tuesday. Let's go. That I can like watch them, just keep away from watching the score, and then so I'm gonna try to score every game, and I also am gonna try to do little recaps after every series.
That's fun.
Throw them up. So just trying to do some content out there for baseball a little more than I've done before. Like obviously we do this. I'm back with the Pesky Report, completely rebranded. Going to be doing a lot of fun stuff over there as well. So very excited about this season. 2025. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening. If you've made it this far.
Yes. Sorry.
If you are watching on YouTube, please count how many Ghostface you see in the screen. That includes not just like Ghostface in the mask. How many like Ghostface you see? How many actors?
We had our first Oscar-winning Ghostface.
We did! Yay!
Amazing. Well deserved. Michaela Madison, you kill it, girl. You kill it.
Yeah, so if you're watching, leave a comment about how many
Ghostfaces. Find the Ghostface. I'll give you hints. I only have one. Chrystal has more.
I have multiple. But although one is really like you can see a picture of one. You can see a picture of an actor Ghostface. Mm-hmm. The other one is really blurred, so you probably can't see it because of the glare, but I have multiple. I have some Ghostface I don't know. What is the plural?
Ghost faces? Yeah, who knows? But Baseball and Ghostface. That's what you get here on Soxy Chicks.
That's it. A lot of bad words. Some words thrown in.
Nine times out of 10 from me. Sorry.
It's okay.
From Boston. What can I say?
That is why we have a parental advisory on our podcast.
Of course, because of Bayleigh. It's a fact.
All right. Well, thank you. We will be back again. Like you said, we'll be doing this every other week. So we'll be back with your roundups.
Woo!
All right. Bye.
Bye.